Hello and Happy New Year. I hope 2021 was a prosperous year for you and your family. With the pandemic somewhat behind us, let's double down on 2022. I'm a pretty savvy blackjack player. I've lost a lot and I've won a decent amount. But when you double down, you might say, Dan, I could lose it all or I could win it all. Win double. A very inspiring story for me was David Sanders, aka Colonel Sanders, his life story and how he developed KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. All the failures that he went through, but he kept moving forward, and then he finally created KFC. If you don't know of the story, please Google it and take a few minutes to read up on it. I think it'll definitely inspire you. What I found over the years is the power of video. It's helped me so much to become an influencer. It's helped me in the real estate trade, and it is a great way to get your vision across to the public or build your brand, so to speak. I am the owner and founder of Jersey Shore Clothing, and I bought that domain in March of 2021. Anyhow, before we get into that and the story behind JSC, Jersey Shore Clothing, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my story and my vision for the company, and whether you want to support and follow me or not, because I love to have you as a supporter. Stay tuned for the next clip. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with me. My name is Daniel Pizzi. I am the founder and CEO of Jersey Shore Clothing Incorporated. I want to give you a timeline of events of how I purchased this domain and the steps I did to get the ball rolling. Let's begin. On March the 7th of 2021, I was doing routine IT work for my real estate website. I'm a licensed realtor in Monmouth and Ocean County, Jersey Shore, and I'm also licensed in the South Florida marketplace. Anyhow, I was doing routine IT work to better rank on Google. I'm very IT savvy, a little bit advanced skills compared to the average realtor. Anyhow, I decided to log on to GoDaddy, the registrar where you purchase domains, and there's a variety of other services that they offer. When I was on GoDaddy, I searched Jersey Shore Clothing. The .com was available. I was in awe. I was in shock. Purchased it for $7. Amazing, right? What's the next step? Well, I was in shock. The next day, I decided the next steps, which were pretty much common sense to me. I need to establish domain authority. And I did that by opening up a business Facebook page titled Jersey Shore Clothing. And then I also opened up an Instagram account titled Jersey Shore Clothing. That's the handle for Instagram. Since Mr. Zuckerberg owns both platforms, you can link those two, meaning when you share to the Instagram profile, you can have it sent to the Facebook business page, which saves a lot of time and is very helpful for us digital marketers. I do consider myself an expert in digital marketing because I have well over 10,000 hours of experience, and that's what qualifies you as an expert if you have that much experience. Anyway, so I created those two social media platforms. What's next? Well, you can establish what they call a Google My Business account, where you can rank on Google and get on Google Maps when you have an official address. Google sends you a postcard with a code and you confirm it, and then you've basically purchased that for free on Google Maps. So I became live on there for Jersey Shore Clothing Incorporated. What I also did to establish domain authority was I started a LinkedIn business page titled Jersey Shore Clothing. So there you go. I established 4 social media profiles relatively quickly because I'm pretty IT savvy. I understand the importance of claiming this, and it's massive. It's massive. So I got that piece of the pie done. What's next? What's next, right? I'm still so excited, but I know that, I got the social media done. That's great. What's next? So stay tuned for the next clip. Hey, welcome back. Okay, so the next step was building out the website. I thought I could do it myself. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. I did build it out myself. It didn't take me very long. However, I wasn't happy with it. There were so many more pieces to the pie. So I did some research on Google. I came across a company called the Web Founders, called in, spoke with the rep, was very happy with what I heard and the pricing. So I signed up. I have a dedicated account manager and then a senior account manager who walked me through the steps on what makes sense from an IT perspective. They are much more savvy than myself. That's what they do for a living. I'm in the people business. Anyhow, so one of the senior guys over there was telling me, what's going to happen when, let's say, there's 500 to 1,000 people on your website at the same time, and let's say 50 of them are placing orders. Who's going to track the orders, follow up with it? I said, well, my CRM, my customer resource management tool. And he said, well, you need your own. You need your own software. And then he told me why it makes sense that it's, my software forever. I can link other businesses to it, which is going to be the next project for me. So I have my own CRM platform. It's awesome. Number one. Number two, I'm on a dedicated server. I'm not on a shared server, which is huge. You can do some Google research if you want into that, but there's a big difference between a shared server and a dedicated server in terms of speed and the amount of traffic. So I put my best foot forward with one of the best IT companies out there to truly launch Jersey Shore Clothing. Another thing I invested in was having a third-party integration, or the API code, and I'll get into that in the distributor in the next clip, and then I'll be wrapping it up soon, so I don't take too much of your time. Just explaining the nuts and bolts that are going into Jersey Shore Clothing from an IT perspective, and I'd love to have your support as I grow this enterprise. So stay tuned for the next clip. All right, so the distribution of the clothing. Is it going to be sent domestic? Who's going to do it? That was another huge thing I had to figure out. But I had such good counsel with the Web Founders. I had an idea of who I wanted the distributor to be, but they weren't as big as a player as I wanted to. Lo and behold, did I know, maybe this was a gift from God, but the Web Founders, a sister company of them, is called Printful. They're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, one of their locations. They're a fulfillment center and distribution, and they ship worldwide. And they do screen printing and embroidery. And they have a very good inventory of clothes, shirts, sweats, hats, hoodies, you name it. They've got sneakers, bathing suits. They've got a lot of stuff. And basically a customer goes to my website, orders, and that order sent to Printful. Printful fulfills the order, then ships it out, either domestic or international. They have locations throughout the world. So I'm very happy to be associated with Printful and the web founders. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, I had to work, and I worked with Fiverr, which is a freelance company for logo designs. I've got 12 caricature logo designs of myself, and I have a Master Seagull logo, and then I have a minimalistic JSC logo. Those two logos are going to be trademarked and patented, just because my vision with the Seagull, I want it to be as powerful as Nike. And it will one day, because I'm branding the Seagull with my real estate business and with my next project I have, which is pretty awesome too. I must say, I love that one. So basically, there's a design studio. So the customer comes to my website, chooses the hoodie, they drop that hoodie into the design studio, and they can pick and choose which logo they want on the front, the back, the sides, one of the sides, the seagull. Also, they can upload their own artwork and print that out onto the apparel and have it shipped to them from Jersey Shore Clothing. So it's a pretty awesome concept. With that being said, I've also paid for third-party integration. I talked about that a little bit in the last clip, and what that means is that even though Printful has a very good inventory of clothing, there's another company that's on board with me called Sanmar. And basically, Sanmar is a clothing wholesaler that works with individuals like myself, a lot of them, and they have a lot of more clothing to offer, getting into jackets, luggage, women's dresses, blouses. It's a lot, and Printful has quite a bit. So third-party integration means this. The customers on my website, they choose a product that's from Sanmar. They drag and drop logos onto it where they can. Printful gets the order, orders it from Sanmar. Sanmar sends it to Printful. Printful puts the logos on it and then ships it out worldwide in a JSC box. Pretty cool, huh? Awesome. I love it. And since I've paid for the third-party integration, I can have as many third-party vendors as I want. So as time goes on, I can truly have a unique clothing brand. And what's going to make Jersey Shore Clothing stand out the most is my Seagull logo, which I love in the Italian colors because I am Italian, and the minimalistic JSC logo, also in the Italian colors. So it's truly awesome. I'm very excited, and I'll be wrapping up in the next clip. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to talk about, but I kind of hit all the aspects with it. So I think with that said, I'm going to sign out, and I'd love to have your support on social media. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, maybe even order my clothes once they come out. So yeah, actually I'm going to shoot one more clip after this, so hold on. So in closing, I want to say thank you for watching my video on Jersey Shore Clothing. You understand the nuts and bolts of the operation. However, there's another big part of the pie, and that's the marketing, the brains behind it. And that's where I will truly make the company launch. One of my favorite quote is by Albert Einstein. It says, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." And coming from a dyslexic myself, I totally see that. And being in the people business so long, I've been able to piece together best methods for doing things. And I'm finally on to this idea, and I'm just ecstatic about it coming to fruition in the next week or two, in all honesty. So to tell you a little bit about the marketing concept behind it, when customers cash out on my website or make a purchase, there's going to be a question on how you heard about JSC, whether it's through a restaurant or different communities, the list goes on and on and on. My CRM software will track how they heard about me. And if it's with an entity that I'm working with, I have money that I make profit going to specific charities. Sometimes it's a charity that restaurant or that community wants their money to go to. So let's say, for example, if some restaurant or community contributes, let's say $75,000 in sales for JSC, I'll take a portion of that profit and I'll stroke them a check, and they can do what they want with that money, give it to charity, invest it in their business. So I think that's huge right there. If people cash out and they do not choose who they heard about me through, if it's just organic marketing, I'd like to give back some of my money on a yearly basis. I have a big heart. I believe it's called corporate responsibility, but organizations that touch my heart are people who have suffered traumatic injuries in their life. Also, children growing up with learning differences, dyslexia or ADHD or some other disability. And thirdly, I have a soft heart for sheltered animals. So I would love for Jersey Shore Clothing to be able to contribute a substantial amount on a yearly basis. That would be my wish as I get this business launched, then move on to the next one. That next business is going to be branded with my seagull, and my real estate business is already branded with the seagull. And I'm going to start coming out with TV commercials, get some angel investors involved, have other investors, and I'm really looking forward to the future with Jersey Shore Clothing Incorporated. Thank you so much for listening to my pitch. If you have any questions or are interested in getting more involved, I'll show my business card after.